All right, so the patch notes just went out. Maintenance just dropped. It started to the maintenance, and I'm just gonna be doing a should you summon or not in case y'all. Oh, they already have everything here. Okay. Well, as let's see what the banner is again. Just to refresh the mind, I'm pretty sure it's actually a fairly good banner. In my opinion, this is probably the best collab banner of all time. And the reason I think they're doing this is they're baiting very hard for either a Ragnarok unit to be very broken for wolves or a very broken fest unit. We have two coming up within the next month or two. Basically, 2 months. Yeah, 2 months. The end of November and the end of December slash first week of January is when we will be getting another fest. And remember, Chad King, the king of PvE, in my opinion. He can do any of the demonic beasts slowly, but he can do all of them forward 1 through 3. And Tower of Trials makes it super easy, one of the best farming units in the game. And then we have Trader Melly, who's just good in almost any activity besides, like, Grey Demon and stuff. And that's why I think they dropped another collab, because they didn't really have another like actual unit scheduled, and they had to fit something in here to try to milk your gems, because they probably saw that Merlin didn't sell that well. I'm assuming. From everything I've seen, a lot of people skipped her banner because they just saw how like mediocre she was. But now Philo, I think I said that right. I got roasted because in my last video I was calling her like Philo, and I don't know how you pronounce Naofumi's. Is it Naofumi? Is that what it is? I don't know. But yeah, I got roasted for calling them the wrong name. But in my opinion, it is a hard thing to say skip, because if I don't think Philo is going to be a meta unit for much longer. I feel as though she will probably fall out, because I remember when Green or Red Sariel first dropped, he was just an absolute god, rank 3, just absolutely obliterated. And that's kind of what she's doing, except you don't need a rank 3 for her. But either way, I think she'll probably fall off the fastest. I don't know when, but I think she'll definitely fall off the fastest. But he's kind of like a Bond team, except he scales off defense. So at any moment he could get his really good third unit. The third one is kind of up in the air. I've seen people use Chandler. I've seen people use Goddess Liz because of the double revive with his Holy Relic, and I've seen people also use Margaret. I prefer the Margaret team just because it's kind of like the Tarmiel nuke strategy, where you without a Margaret buff, not much damage, doesn't always one shot, but with the Margaret buff, increases his defense tremendously, increases his damage dealt tremendously, and so I just think that Margaret is a very good slot, but not perfect for him, And then obviously Kizuna is a very good free-to-play unit, can 3-turn OG Demon, so if you don't have Summon Diane, that's another reason to go in on this banner. It's very hard. Like, I watched Nagato's video and he had some very good points, and it's very hard to say skip this banner. I want to say just 100% please skip this banner, but I know that it has a lot of value. It has Freyr, Magelda. Like, if you don't have those two units, I would say that you kind of want to summon, obviously, but if you're on global, you have one whole week to see what the next banner is. JP has like a day to really see what comes. So they still have a little bit of leeway, but not as much as global. So if you really are like worried that the next banner is gonna be absolutely broken, because it is here for only 2 weeks, it's not. I swear it was like 3 or 4 on older collabs, but I think they really don't want you to be able to see what's coming next. They're really hyping up what's coming next, and that's why I think that this could be a good banner for you. But there's just so much. I just like, they're PvP only. They don't really help in PvE except for Kizuna. Like, obviously there's Freyr and Magelda, and those are two units that I would say go for, but they're not featured, they're not rated up in any way, and it really sucks. Like, skipping out on their main banner was just unfortunate, obviously. So it's very hard to say summon, because they're only in PvP. Philo will 100% fall off. I don't see her staying meta relevant for much longer, or very long, like the Bond team, because the Bond team has Rupture ultimate. If Bond didn't have Rupture, he would have fallen off extremely fast as well, but he also increases his own HP, so he's super tanky, just like Naofumi. He's very tanky because he scales off defense, but she scales off how many divas are on the field and her attack, so I don't see her being as meta. But they are very good units, so it's literally 50-50. If you have Magelda and Freyr, I think it's a skip because we get keys enough for free, so your PvE is secured. You can easily 3-turn. I completely forgot that she's the free unit, so you literally don't even need to summon for her. You get the free Holy Relic, you get all of that, you're chilling. And then realistically, like Sariel, yeah, he's a good link, I guess. Sigurd sucks. Unfortunately, I don't think he's that great besides the Ragnarok team, and even then, the Ragnarok team is slowly getting pushed aside, in my opinion. I don't really see it, especially if you go first, which, if you build your team, you should be able to out-CC the Ragnarok team, to be honest, unless it's just like a Constellation 5 whale, you know? Like, it's just like, roll the dice. Tarmiel, kind of a shit link at this point. Not really that great. Ludo link is like whatever. He also isn't that great of a unit. Green Escanor, no. Blue didn't really know. The Pierce team, no. Like it is a good banner, but it's not like amazing, you know. So that's why I think that a lot of these units are kind of mid. Sorry, was just a good link, and that's about it. So I think realistically, if you do have Freyr and Magelda, if you do, you should not summon. Like Nayofumi, Nagato said, I haven't tested it because I have only started with a 5-6-1, I believe is the first day I showcased him, with outfits and all that. I guess I could have done it without outfits because those are 100% gated to money. But free-to-plays, I just don't think should summon for these units, unfortunately. Like, yes, you can if you really like the show, fine. But in my opinion, I think it's a skip for most free-to-plays. They are good units, obviously. They're some of the best teams in the game right now, especially if you can go first with Philo. But yeah, like Nayofumi apparently solos like 1-6. He still does a lot of damage. He has to have like a really good stance, obviously. You know, if you have a bunch of the Wrath built up, even though actually I guess that only helps with AoE, so never mind. But very good units, basically. So you don't need 6-6 on them. Philo does not need 6-6, I don't believe. Like, obviously it's better, but you don't need it. Her, I don't even know what her ultimate does, to be honest. I think she has Echidna's ult, basically, but just doesn't increase the unknown damage. But it's basically the same thing. It's just very 50-50. If you don't need the filler units, I don't think it's worth. If you do, I think it's definitely worth, but at least wait till we see what comes next week on JP. I think that's how I'll say it, but it is a very, very hard banner to consider, hey, don't summon when these units are actually very good. They look very fun, and I can see why people want to summon. I will be going 1-6 on all of them, maybe buying one drip for Naofumi. Just because I don't really like his base outfit that much compared to like his white demon outfit. That demon outfit looks sick. But other than that, I'm going 1-6 and I'm dipping. I don't like, they look cool, but I don't care. I don't care enough. The anime doesn't seem amazing from what I've seen, so I will probably just 1-6 and dip for the content. But yeah, let me know down below, are you guys gonna be summoning? If you guys do summon, best of luck. I will be streaming as soon as the maintenance ends in about 2.5 hours by the time this goes out. But yeah, take care and peace out.